Hello, and a very warm welcome to your channel, Genesis and Enigma. Today, our story is about BlackRock, the illusion of power. Welcome to Genesis and Enigma. On this channel, we stand on two pillars: Genesis, to uncover the hidden roots of the forces that shape our reality, and Enigma, to dismantle the terrifying mysteries operating in the shadows, far from the eyes of mainstream media. Look around you, my friend. Wake up and pay close attention to everything you are about to hear, because what you learn today will permanently alter your understanding of the world you live in. When you turn on the television or scroll through social media, and you see the presidents of superpowers signing treaties, declaring wars, or shifting global policies, when you see celebrity tech billionaires like Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, or Mark Zuckerberg dominating the headlines with their bold statements, you automatically assume these are the people who own and rule this planet. You believe that the decisions to raise prices, collapse currencies, or even dictate the very technology you hold in your hand right now originate from the faces on your screen. But the shocking truth that no one wants you to know is that all of these public figures are merely wooden puppets acting on a brightly lit stage. There is a hidden hand sitting in the absolute darkness, behind a massive pitch-black curtain, holding all the strings and moving everyone according to a grand, calculated design. We are talking about a single financial entity so monstrously powerful that if its board of directors decided to close its offices tomorrow morning, the global economy would collapse into total chaos in less than 24 hours. The money in your bank account would instantly mean nothing, and the corporations that produce your food, your medicine, and your energy would freeze. This entity is BlackRock, the greatest financial octopus in human history. In this deep documentary narrative, we will plunge directly into its genesis and decode its enigma. How did a small, disgraced startup operating from a single room transform into the shadow ruler of tens of trillions of dollars? Prepare your mind, disconnect from the outside world, and listen to the story from its absolute roots, the genesis of the king. To understand the monumental end, we must examine the earliest beginnings. Our journey takes us back to November 12, 1952, in a quiet, unassuming town in California called Pasadena. On this day, a child was born into a traditional middle-class family. His parents named him Larry Fink. Larry was not born with a silver spoon in his mouth, nor did he grow up in the lavish mansions of Beverly Hills. His father was a hard-working man who owned a small shoe store in the neighborhood, spending his days serving customers and his nights counting modest profits to secure his family's livelihood. His mother, on the other hand, was a highly educated woman who worked as a university professor teaching English literature. This unique genetic blend, the practical, gritty, mercantile mindset of his father, combined with the sharp, analytical, and academic intellect of his mother, forged Larry into a fascinating personality from his early childhood. While other kids in the neighborhood were running through the streets playing sports, young Larry would sit directly beside his father behind the old mechanical cash register. He didn't look at the shoes as simple merchandise. He was obsessed with the behavior of the money. He would constantly ask himself, what drives this specific man to pay a premium price for this particular shoe? And what makes that other customer hesitate and back away out of fear? Here, inside this humble shoe store, Larry Fink's brain was being programmed with a highly lethal science, the psychology of risk and capital. As he grew older, Larry enrolled at the prestigious University of California, Los Angeles, UCLA. Initially, he studied political science because he was deeply passionate about discovering how nations are governed. However, he quickly realized that politics is nothing more than an echo of money. Power does not rest in government chambers. It rests in vaults. Therefore, he shifted his focus to real estate and corporate finance, earning his MBA in 1976. While his classmates were hunting for comfortable, safe office jobs with steady salaries at local banks, Larry was staring at the distant horizon. He knew that the ultimate financial coliseum on earth was a street in New York called Wall Street, and that this single street was the true remote control of the planet. He packed his bags, left the warmth of California, and threw himself into the heart of the hurricane. Chapter 2: The Dark Night and the Fall. When Larry Fink arrived in New York in 1976 at the age of 24, he secured a position at a highly prominent investment bank called First Boston. At that time, Wall Street was a brutal, merciless concrete jungle. The strong devoured the weak, and only the most cunning survived. But Larry was not just an ordinary smart employee. He possessed an advanced, highly aggressive financial mind. In that era, traditional banks relied on conventional methods of investment, buying corporate stocks, lending money to governments, or trading foreign currencies. Larry Fink, however, noticed a buried treasure that absolutely no one was looking at. This treasure was the collective debt of everyday citizens, their home mortgages. He designed a brand new financial instrument that changed banking history forever: mortgage-backed securities. In simple terms, imagine tens of thousands of ordinary citizens who took out bank loans to buy their homes, paying monthly installments over 30 years. Larry Fink took all of these scattered independent debts, bundled them together into one massive financial basket, and converted that basket into liquid bonds that could be bought and sold on the open stock market to ultra-wealthy investors seeking guaranteed yields. This invention caused a seismic revolution on Wall Street. Suddenly, hundreds of millions of dollars flooded into First Boston like a tidal wave. By virtue of this sheer genius, Larry Fink generated over $100 million in net profits for the bank in an incredibly short period, an astronomical, unprecedented figure by the standards of the late 1970 seconds and early 80 seconds. In recognition of this legendary success, Larry was promoted to become the youngest managing director and head of the bond department in the history of the firm before he even reached his 30th birthday. He sat in his luxurious corner office at the top of a New York skyscraper, looking down at the city below like a crowned monarch, puffing smoke from his expensive cigars. No one in the entire corporation dared to question his methods or oppose a single word he uttered. His name became a brand, and Larry believed he was entirely invincible, completely immune to error. But this profound arrogance was the exact trap that destiny was preparing for him. In 1986, blind trust in his own predictions led Larry to make a colossal, highly aggressive financial bet on the future direction of interest rates, completely failing to hedge against sudden market volatility. The nightmare manifested. The market moved violently against him. Within a matter of days, the bank lost over $100 million solely because of his singular decision. On Wall Street, a mistake of this magnitude is unpardonable. Larry woke up to find himself terminated, fired in a wave of public disgrace that echoed across the entire financial system. Overnight, he transformed from a golden legend into a toxic pariah. Every major firm refused to even grant him an interview. He spent dark, agonizing days walking the rainy streets of New York, completely broken. Yet this is where the difference between an ordinary man and a builder of empires reveals itself. Larry sat alone in his room and analyzed the root cause. "I was not defeated because I am foolish, but because the human brain is structurally blind to seeing all facets of risk simultaneously. The world does not need a brilliant human manager. It needs a cold, statistical, electronic system that can calculate the future through pure, unbiased data." Out of the ashes of his humiliation, the grand enigma was conceived. Chapter 3. The Birth of Aladdin. In 1988, Larry Fink gathered 7 of the most brilliant minds in quantitative financial analysis. They sat in a small, cramped room and founded a new company which they named BlackRock. The firm was not built on human intuition, gut feelings, or market predictions. It was anchored entirely to a sophisticated technological foundation. This brings us to the Kelly secret of BlackRock's supremacy: an advanced electronic mind known as Aladdin. This name is not just a clever marketing title. It stands for Asset, Liability, Debt, and Derivative Investment Network. Aladdin is a highly sophisticated, predictive artificial intelligence system housed within highly classified, heavily fortified subterranean data centers buried deep underground. What does Aladdin actually do? The system reads the entire physical and financial world, second by second, in real time. It digests corporate earnings reports, political news, changing weather patterns, volcanic eruptions, shifting shipping routes, and even millions of social media posts. It runs millions of complex probability simulations every single day to predict global financial crises long before they happen. For example, Aladdin can analyze data and warn its managers. If a severe drought occurs in Brazil, coffee crop yields will drop, which will trigger a spike in global coffee prices, ultimately damaging the stock value of specialized shipping logistics corporations in Germany exactly 60 days from now. Because of this near supernatural predictive power, Aladdin did not remain exclusive to BlackRock. Global central banks, including the United States Federal Reserve, along with the ministries of finance of the world's largest superpowers, paid billions of dollars annually just to access Aladdin's risk management data to protect their sovereign economies. Today, This singular electronic mind monitors and directs more than $20 trillion across the globe. It is the hidden digital guardian guarding the wealth of rulers, kings, and nations. Chapter 4. The Global Octopus. Let us now answer the ultimate question that will shock you to your core. What does BlackRock actually own? The answer, quite literally, is that they own a dominant stake in nearly everything your eyes land upon in your daily life. BlackRock is the single largest institutional shareholder in technology giants like Apple, Microsoft, and Amazon. This means the smartphones in our pockets, the operating systems on our computers, and the global infrastructure of e-commerce are directly tethered to their capital. They are the primary owners of Alphabet, the parent company of Google and YouTube, the very platform you are using to watch me right now. Do you think this level of control stops at the tech industry? Look at the pharmaceutical giants that manufacture the world's medicine, such as Pfizer. You will find BlackRock's massive shareholdings right there. Look at the global food and beverage empires like McDonald's and Coca-Cola, or clean energy automotive pioneers like Tesla, or the world's largest oil conglomerates, heavy industries, and defense contractors. Through an absolute monopoly of exchange-traded funds known as iShares, BlackRock holds a dominant voting stake in every vital sector on Earth. The actual volume of capital directly managed by BlackRock today surpasses a staggering $10 trillion. To comprehend this figure, a trillion is a number 1 followed by 12 zeros. This sheer volume of wealth comfortably exceeds the combined gross domestic product of global economic powerhouses like Germany, Japan, France, and the United Kingdom combined. Larry Fink, the boy who once sat in his father's humble shoe store counting coins, is now the man who sits privately with world leaders, quietly dictating global economic and political realities behind heavily sealed, closed doors. Conclusion: The Awakening. This is the definitive story of BlackRock, a narrative that teaches us here at Genesis and Enigma how absolute failure and total public disgrace can become the very catalyst, the very genesis, for constructing the most formidable shadow empire human history has ever witnessed. We hope this deep investigation has illuminated the hidden roots of our global financial reality clearly and without unnecessary complexity. If you appreciate this deep analytical content and the massive amount of research we conduct to decode these global mysteries, please support our work by hitting a powerful like and make sure to subscribe to the channel, activating the notification bell so you can be the absolute first to dismantle the next enigma with us. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Do you believe that the electronic mind of Aladdin is truly running the destiny of humanity? Thank you deeply for your invaluable time, and we will see you very soon in our next investigation of the roots and the next unlocking of the enigma.